All right, so welcome to an overview of the Humoresque practice part. All right, so we have what I call our root passages, and that is this little section here. Okay, so here's where you start, and as you can see, it branches off in 3 sections here. I call these little doodads the branch passages. Okay, so you get that, I imagine. This you can see goes in 3 different sections because it repeats 3 different times. Very, very important to not get better at something just because it repeats. And this allows you to see exactly how these endings branch off that root passage, and allows a student to just focus on particular sections. So one of the really good things about practice parts is that it allows students to play the phrase as it's actually written. So 5A, as I have it here, I give it a little letter after if it's an incomplete part or an incomplete bar. This actually ends the first line in the original part and goes back to here. So we have what we call a phrase elision here. What often happens with students is they play this bottom, 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 bottom. Then we go to the first line and it's pow, bum, bottom, bottom, right? So this helps condition them to play the phrase appropriately as an ending and as a beginning as well. Okay, and then you have your 7B to 8A. Again, this 7B is just a partial bar, as is 8A. Okay, and then we have 23B to 24A. This one in particular here is a real challenge for students. So it's nice to be able to kind of not only bracket that, but just have it on its own so they can just focus on that alone. Okay? All right, so now we go to our second root passage, which is at measures 9 and 10. Again, it branches off in a couple different ways. And it's good, students are just learning third position here. So again, I broke this into the phrase itself and where it ends. And then you have measure 15, which starts in third position, goes to first position, but actually goes 2 different ways. Very important, especially this one, to teach the student how to play those harmonics from first position. I have a little extra fingering here if they just wanted to play it in first position. They can do that. But so that's that. And then you go on to I guess you could call the third root passage at measure 25. And this thing branches off in 4 different ways. Now, I grouped these 2 together because they're the most similar. They don't follow each other, right? Obviously, 28 follows 26. But that's not how we're practicing, right? We need to practice so that similarities are right next to each other. And so 26 and 30 are related essentially by by variation. So it's important to have those, and then excuse me. And then you have 28 and 32 that are similar as well. You have a big jump. I always call this 28 part the NBC passage. Bum, 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 right? And then you have 33A is your final root passage. And again, that branches off in a couple different ways. And the 35B actually branches off in 2 different sections. So again, it just helps the student kind of learn less linearly and more vertically. So groups similar things together. And also in a number of different places, helps them learn later passages from the very beginning. So let's say this is the first assignment, is this first root passage with the branch passages, right? This is your first section, okay? Well, this section tends to get avoided while this section tends to get really good, right? Because it's repeated constantly, and there's a sense of accomplishment, and that's all well and good. But this is the section that you need to focus on, right? As we all know. Let me start erasing all my marks here. Okay, that's the section you all need to know. And this is the one that takes the most work. So anyways, I hope that helps to demystify how to use these parts. I tried to keep most of the Suzuki fingerings, but added my own in here too. So anyways, I hope it helps, and good practicing.